Alright, just a brief update here because as you can see I've been halted in my work a little bit. And I've got a bunch of other projects going on, so I'll have to apologize. As you see my garage, it's pretty terrible in here. I've got the two halves of the center platform, and you can just see right under that spare set of rollers that I have that I finished rounding each of the ends on those. They're taken off of the center point, and so they come out to, if you take the total length, it comes out to just a little over 18 feet on each side of those. So it looks pretty good on either end. And just before the storm started here, I had started in on the framing. So underneath the tarp there in the middle, there's I have a 20-foot 2x4 that is cut to length and then curved on the ends to match the curve of the on the ends of the platform. That will be the base of the frame that will attach to this side of the platforms. Now I'm trying to use the flat surface of the driveway there. Of course, it's not perfectly flat, but it's gonna be okay for the needs that I have. And when we get to doing the other side, I'm actually going to push that a little bit further out onto the asphalt, because the asphalt's even a little more smooth, laid a little more smoothly than the concrete. But so for the frame, as I was beginning it, you'll see two different sizes of boards here. I used a 2x12 for these lower ones. These are the center part of the curve. You can see the curve, so they're a little bit wider. This was so I could get a full 8 feet out of it. And so this, so what I actually did was I took one end of the curve there, because I knew that I wanted these to be a full 8 feet long, and I just laid that on one of the ends over here, because the curve is supposed to be the same all the way around, and I cut that to be my template. And so you can see this board right here is the one that I'm using for my template for all of the other curve cuts that I'm making. So these two are identical. I actually cut that one first and then laid it straight on top of this board and then cut it. So they're exactly the same size. And what I did then is I clamped them together and then belt sanded the top so that they, of course you can't get a perfect curve, but it should be pretty smooth when I actually am able to build the frame. Then what I did is I had actually marked on the ground over here where that curve should be. I set a center screw right in between the, oh, you might get some cool lightning in the background there. Got a center screw right in the middle, and then I kind of hashed out with some chalk where that should drop on the concrete here. Hopefully not too much water is running under onto the platform. It's pretty sturdy though, so we should be good either way. So that gave me how far out it needed to be, and then where the ends needed to drop for this center board here. So then when I laid that center board down, all I did is I took some 2x10s and I laid them on top of the base 20-footer that was down there, and the end of the this board, and then was able to hash out the end points of where that's supposed to drop. Now each of these have to be cut individually, and so you'll notice I've noted where exactly I'm putting these. So this is on the right side. I'm kind of pretending that this is my, if I'm looking at it and I go, this is down, that's up, this is right, and that's left. Each of these pieces has to be cut custom so that they fit just right. And the idea behind that you'll see these notches right down here that fit in right next to the those fit into right next to, I guess, the upper one. This one here fits right next to the 20 footer, and this end down next to the center board. And then for this one, that ends down at the 20 footer, and that ends up at the center board here, so that we maintain that perfect curvature all the way around. Now, of course, we're going to end up with not a perfect circle here, and but my hope is that once I'm able to suck them all together, put my mounting bolts in between all of the different platforms and everything, that we should only have a variance of probably about half an inch throughout the entire thing. So that's pretty close to perfect. And the way that we're actually going to be turning this with the wheels mounted to the stage surface, that should then correlate to a nearly perfect turn for anything that's there. So that's just the next step. The next step, hopefully when we're able to dry out, is I'm going to lay these back down, and we'll actually cut the 2x4 framing. That'll go into they'll go into the center boards here down to the 20 footers, and they'll actually connect these parts together, and then we'll use the sheeting material to actually glue together and seal everything together so that nothing's really moving around, and then we'll go to there.